Hey guys, Merry Meet. This is Anastasia Autumnfire for part 2 of my magician craft, the elemental oils. So I already kind of showed you the layout of the grid where I have earth, air, fire, and water charging up. I'm now going to make my spirit oil. And for this, I'm going to just go right ahead and just make the whole thing for you to see. So on my pentacle here, I have my labradorite in a bottle, and I also have, you kind of saw it there for a second, a little chip of amethyst for the good folk. I started this video and then had a coughing attack, so I had to stop. So I apologize. But I want to put the labradorite in there because it is a connection to the magician. It is a stone that's supposed to boost the aura, pull in positivity, push out negativity. So I do want that included in my spirit oil. The amethyst is to represent the good folk. And then we have a tiger's eye chip and a moonstone chip. Now, as I stated in the other video, these oils are going to be utilized first and foremost in a craft that I'm making with my witchy sister in arms. She does work with Caradwyn quite a bit. I work with Hel. Both Hel and Caradwyn have a correspondence to Moonstone. So that is why I chose a moonstone to represent the goddess. I chose Tiger's Eye to represent the god. It is a preferred stone for Cernunnos, and she does not work with a god as of yet, so I felt good using that stone. And then amethyst I find is a very spiritual stone, but it is amethyst and rose quartz as well as clear quartz. Those are the three stones that I use a lot when working with the good folk. So I like to include those, especially since that is going to be the base of the spirit oil, are the Lord, the Lady, and the good folk. As many of you know, every time I craft something, I try to work within the Lord, the Lady, the spirits of the elements, and the good folk. So each of these oils, the air, the earth, the air, the fire, the water, those are each in honor of a guardian of the elements. So they're working very much with the spirits of the elements. So I wanted the spirit oil to be for the Lord, the Lady, and the good folk specifically. So I have each of those stones to represent them. I have the labradorite just kind of as a charging stone. And then what I'm going to do now is add my spiritual herbs. So these are herbs that, yes, they do have elemental correspondences as well, but for me personally in my practice, I find them to connect to that higher realm. For me, they do connect to the Lord. They do connect to the Lady. They do connect to the good folk. They do bring me to a higher place. So, of consciousness. There we go. A higher place of consciousness. So I do want to use them. So here we have some, I'm sorry, as my hand like blocks out. Let's see if I can do this a better way. Here I have some Angelica root. Angelica root connects to the ethereal realms, angelic realms if you'd like. I do connect it very much to the goddess, just because it has this nurturing warmth to it. It is this amazing herb that will pull in positivity, push out negativity. It's very protection based. It's very much kind of a motherly feel when I use it. For me as a mom, I very much want to protect my daughter, and to do that, I want to surround her with as much positive energy as possible, and that's what I find Angelica root does. It's very protective in that way, and I like that it does connect to the angelic realms or the ethereal realms or the realms beyond this. For me, that very Caradwyn and Hel both are seen as crone goddesses for the most part, but for me, and I don't work with Caradwyn, so please at least we have a kinship, I say. She and I have a kinship. What I have come to know of Cerridwen through my witchy sister in arms, working with her so much, and me having that kinship with her, is she is very much a mother. She is very much about that. She is very much a mother that's about you finding your own strength and finding your own way and finding, really pushing yourself to become the best you that you can be, which is very crone-like. But I mean, even in her most well-known story of the cauldron, she was brewing that potion of wisdom to give to her son, who was not the most attractive of people, because she wanted to give him that one up. She wanted to provide for him. She wanted to protect him. And the best way she knew how was to help him. If he didn't have the looks to fall back on, at least he would have had the wisdom to fall back on. And so it still very much relates to her. As far as Hel is concerned, the connection to the other realms very much speaks to Hel for me. Hel is very nurturing. She is very much a goddess of protection, where she is very crone-like, but she does have this warmth to her. So I do feel connection to both. And again, those are just my personal thoughts. By no means am I saying this is how it is for everyone, or this is how you should feel. No, that's not what I'm about. Next, I have some powdered dragon's blood resin. Dragon's blood I find to be very spiritual. It is a huge booster of energies. It is used by many who handwrite in Book of Shadows. Traditionally, dragon's blood ink is used. I also do find it connects to the god. It has that fieriness, like the sun, which this is going into a Yule craft, which is all about, it's the longest night of the year, but after that the sun begins to regain its power. It's the rebirth of the sun. The horned god comes back and it takes the reins from the Holly King again. So I really liked the symbolism in that. I love dragon's blood incense in and of itself. I'm not making an incense here, but still. Sorry, I've got incense on the brain apparently. But it is very masculine to me. It is very much that fiery energy. It can be aggressive, but not necessarily in a negative way. But it is that masculine energy for me. Again, it's just a personal, my personal experience is all I can really speak to. And then the last, so that's my connection to the god. Cernunnos specifically, I don't know that he has, I've ever read of a connection to dragon's blood. Personally, I think it connects more to his darker side when he becomes the leader of the Wild Hunt in Celtic tradition. It's when he's in his life or lighter aspect, when he's life-giving and vitality and all about fertility. I don't really feel this aggression, and maybe it's just because I've seen him much more as almost a father type figure, very meditative, very much about patience. And I think that's because those are the lessons I need to learn from him personally. But I've never really felt that aggressive nature per se, or he definitely has a fiery nature that is very passionate when it comes to fertility and, that type of aspect. But I honestly see this to be more, I don't want to say warlike because that's not right. But dragon's blood, I kind of, aggressive is really the best word I have for it. That's the feeling I get from it. And I see that more of from Cernunnos in his darker state, in his hunting lost souls and bringing them to the other realms. And so I do connect it to him in that way, although I've never really read of it, and I'm sure other people would probably see it more as a passionate thing, and therefore it goes to his lighter aspect. But that's my 2 cents on that. But I still connect it to the god in the abstract and to the darker aspect of Cernunnos. So then I have Hawthorn for the good folk. And Hawthorn is very much, it's very protection based. It's said to keep out evil spirits while not harming or keeping out the positive. So that's very good. It also is a preferred offering for the good folk. Hawthorn as a tree is very sacred to the good folk. It was a very protective tree. The fairy forts oftentimes are found to be that. I would love to get a piece of hawthorn to make a wand for connection to the good folk. I absolutely love the energy of it. So we have the 3 herbs. They're ready to go. I'm going to do a quick cleansing. Sorry, my hand's going to be over this for a while. Except I have the wrong hand. Sorry. Lord and Lady, spirits of the elements and good folk alike, I ask you to cleanse and charge these herbs and crystals with your love and your light. Banish all negativity from these and this house, leaving only positive energies, all to do honor to those of the good folk, Lord and Lady, and the good folk, Lord and Lady. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. This oil is to give protection. It is to connect us to the higher spirits of the Lord, the Lady, and the good folk. It is to bring us to a realm of psychic and spiritual freedom, where we are free to connect, free to explore, and to learn. Please charge these herbs, these crystals, this glass bottle, and the oil for which I'm about to put in, which please charge these ingredients and this glass bottle to aid in those efforts. I release all negativity. I banish you. May the energies of positivity continue to grow within this and all my creations. Lord and Lady, spirits of the elements and good folk alike, I thank you for sharing with me your love and your light. All right, and I apologize. That was probably a weird thing to see, and I'm tripping over my words because, yeah, it's just, it's an odd thing not to include the spirits of the elements. I need to remember, nope, this is just for the Lord, the Lady, and the good folk. I've got the spirits of the elements and the other factors, so just trying to keep my own mind aware of what I'm doing. So now I have that going, and oh yeah, we've got a good charge on that. You might be wondering why you're seeing my hand go in front of the camera. What I do is every time I charge something, I put my hand over it and kind of press down to see I can actually feel the energy field around the items. I don't know if anyone else does this. I don't know if that sounds totally crazy, but it's what works for me. So I'll feel it, and when I can't push down anymore, I know how that energy field is doing. And I'll know if it's ready. When it's in a bottle, it's almost intensified because it has the mouth of the bottle that it's kind of shooting through. And it feels rather weird. So I know when I put herbs, when I put crystals, when I put things into a bottle, it's ready for the final state when I can't press down any further, when I can't connect to the glass. So now I've got my almond oil, and I'm just going to put that in And you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see all that well, it looks rather pretty. All the dragon's blood is kind of floating and the other items have sunk to the bottom. So I'm going to put the cap on. Ow, Mother Atlanta. I'm just going to kind of shake it. I was going to say, I imagine this is going to get a very pretty red color from the dragon's blood resin. Which I kind of like. It is primarily for, or at least right now it's going to be used, the only use I know of right now is that Yule project. So red for me is a very good color for the spirit of that season. So that is what it looks like. I'm going to leave that on my grid to charge a bit more. But yeah, that is how I make my infused oils. This is the spirit oil. The elemental oils, I still have the herbs, as you can see, kind of around the grid. I'm going to find bottles and get those going, and then I'll be good to go. So yeah, that is, in a nutshell, my final project, or my craft, I should say, not final project, but my craft for the Magician card. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope it made sense. I hope I wasn't too rambly. Again, I'm sorry, my energies are just kind of, I went through my 30 days of magic. I went through my 30 days of Samhain crafting and just other craftings in and of themselves. So I've kind of taken a step back from crafting, but this week has been a lot of ideas and a lot of, I should do this, and then I should do this, and then I should do this. So now that I'm actually doing some of these crafts that I've been coming up with during my quiet time, I'm feeling a charge, a huge surge. So it's kind of getting back into the swing of video making again, but as far as crafting is concerned, but also getting these creative energies in check and just, okay, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, this is exciting. I need to calm down now. If that makes sense to anyone, I appreciate it. Anyway, thanks for sticking it out with me, guys. I'm really sorry if it was rambly and was confusing. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you next time. Many blessings as always. Have a great day.